One of my favourite sounding chords. I've heard a ton of people doing it as well. So if you think about it, it's the same thing. We need to be able to visualise where the root notes are. Oh, that really helps me anyway. So for this exercise, we're just going to play the C major scale. Again, harmonise the C major scale. Again, remember, major, minor, minor, major, major, minor, diminished, major, okay? Same sequence, but we're going to do it with these new inversions. And the inversions are third on the bottom, then the root, then the fifth. So third, root, fifth. But once you learn the shapes, it's a lot easier than it sounds. So C major, okay? So just get used to the C major scale again on the D string. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, okay? And when you're playing that, say the notes, okay? So it just helps it go in the mind, go in the brain a little bit easier. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, okay? Now let's harmonise them with these new chords. Let's look at the fingerings. So we've got the third on the bottom, but let's just, I always visualise the root first if I can. So here's the root, and I just want you to play the fifth above, okay? So root and fifth, and that is going to be the same all the way through the chords, okay, except that minor 7 flat 5 chord. So it's going to be C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, okay? So this shape on the top is always the same. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, okay? That's always the same, except that one there, which is like a semitone apart. We've got a B and an F on top. So they're the roots and fifths of each chord, right? C major, D minor, E minor, F major, G major, A minor, B half diminished, C major. Now when we put the thirds down the bottom, things become really interesting. So that's the C major, okay? So, and remember the shape, because for every major chord, that's the shape that you'll be playing. So we've got the third finger holding down the E, which is the major third of the C major triad, and then we've got a C and then the little finger. So we've got third, root, and fifth, and then we move to a D minor, and that's the shape. Okay, so again, that top shape always stays the same, and throughout when you're playing these chords, it will always be your first, and for me, it's the fourth finger that plays that, and for you, it should be the fourth as well, because we're going to be using the second and the third finger to play the thirds, okay? So there's C major, moving to a D minor, and they're the two main shapes that you need to remember. That's the first shape, the major shape, and there's the minor shape, okay? Now we go to an E minor, same shape, so we just slide up 2 frets, E minor, and then we've got, so C, D, E, F, F major. So we use the major shape. Again, we've got root and fifth, and then the major third with the third finger here. Again, from the C major, C major, C major, D minor, E minor, F major, G major, A minor, B half diminished, okay, so this is a little bit different. Remember, we've got the roots here, so, and this is the only shape that changes. So we go from this A minor, A, so root, fifth, third. As we move up here, this is the fingering I use. So I slide the first finger, and that just goes from the root of A to the root of the B, okay? The second finger stays the same, because that's the minor third of the B. And the only thing that changes is, instead of playing the fifth with my little finger, I play the flat 5 with the third finger. So just practice going between these two shapes. I don't like to use the little finger, it squashes everything up a little bit too much. and then back to C major. Again, right? So we've only got 3 shapes to learn, to memorize here, and one of them we only use once. Okay, so there's the major shape. C major, D minor, E minor, F major, G major, A minor, B minor 7 flat 5, or G, B diminished, and then C major. And this specific chord type where you've got that 3rd and then root and 5th on the top is so great for bass because it just keeps things massively open. Like you can even play like an E flat major down here, and it sounds great. Like arguably this, so that's a C, you know, an E flat triad. Just play it down here. If I play it here, for me it's just a bit muddy. So I play the same chord here, and you get that G on the bottom instead of this. The cool thing is, there's loads of different ways of playing the same chord, which is what we've been doing this entire time, right? And it comes into its own when you're moving through pieces and you want to create different sounds, you know. Yeah, it's cool doing this, but it's cooler doing this. You know, just being able to do that. We're going to get into that in a few lessons time, but that's what we're learning all these chords for, because so we can have multiple ways of playing the same chord and bringing out different textures. If we only had one way of playing, you know, a groove or a riff, it'd be so boring. Same thing with chords. We need multiple ways to play the same chords, which is why, and I use that E flat as an example, you can play an E flat major triad like this. You can play it like this, you can play it like this, and you can play it like this. For me, that's so beautiful. Anyway, let's look at using those inversions of the triads over Autumn Leaves.